Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is August 21st, 2019, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. Good morning, chat room. Oh my goodness, look who's already here. Look at all the folks here already. Nidens, good to see you. Thanks for the hype. Lannon BR, Copper Beardy, good morning. Hugo Dahl, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dead of night, intemporal moment within a black hole, everyone. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Good to see you. It's Corey Hurricane Weathers, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. GG Feds, hello, hello. Finally caught the start of the stream. Welcome, Nidens. Yes. Let's see here. Hugo Dahl, between work craziness, back to school, and pre-back to school craziness, finally made it back. Yeah, welcome. Nachos for all. All right, yes, everybody can have nachos, but you can run the tacos command, and everybody can get tacos. It's true. Try it sometime. You might like it. There they go. There goes the tacos. See that? Everybody got tacos. It's amazing. And I need to check. See that? There go the tacos. Our marquee isn't working, and neither is the sentiment analysis. Let's see if we can kickstart those.
Mike_Eaton just resubscribed for 13 months.
13 months with Mike Eaton? Are you kidding me? Mike Eaton, thank you so much. 13 months. You're in a rainbow hat now. You'll see the little rainbow hat badge with a propeller. It's true.
Mordzuba just resubscribed for 10 months.
Mordecai, thank you so much for that. 10 months and 13 from Mike. We're going to make 2 more donations to Coder Dojo. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that. Coder Dojo is building facilities. They're training trainers all around the world to help folks learn more about technology, advance their careers. And all quarter long, we're going to support them in their goals.
Ash Caravan just subscribed.
Ash, thank you so much for that subscription. And I'll make another donation to Coder Dojo, just like we are with all of our subs, all of our cheers this quarter. Thank you very, very much for that. Oh my goodness. Gosh, let me finish running down the chat, welcoming everybody in. Coding Gorilla, good to see you. Frackberg Snoopaloopy is back. Welcome. Coder 0001, welcome. Good morning. Great to see you. And there's a question about what's the deal with the logo on the hat. This is my Hollywood Tower Hotel hat. I figured it went well with the red shirt. You know what I mean? That's why. I was wearing a red shirt today. I thought, hey, that works. That looks good together. Let's do this thing. So that's why I chose that one. No, nothing special. So it's a Disney hat that I figured, hey, let's put that on. It's from the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's great. Here to learn not to sleep this time. Thank you, Copperbeardy. In case you didn't see it previously on this stream. So last night, right, because Tuesday nights we usually stream Tuesdays I stream in my evening, about 6 p.m. Eastern time. Copperbeardy comes into the chat room and says, yeah, it's really late and I can't sleep, so I thought I'd turn in. What, you think we're gonna put you to sleep here, buddy? Come on now, all the excitement. Ha ha! Isn't the rule at Microsoft if you wear a red shirt, your name must be what? Must be Scott! No. You have to be an ASP.NET person and a real go-getter who's going to become a manager or something. And now it didn't read. See, look at that. I've got to force this refresh. Try that again. Somebody do. Where do we go here?
Dr. Scott!
There's the Scott command, of course. See? Look at them all. All kinds of... Ash is just here for my docile tones. Yes, welcome everybody. It's so good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to The Delicious Dish. I'm your host, Jeff, and we're going to bake a fine gluten-free pie today. Because diabetes. Everybody needs a little diabetes in their life. Okay? Thanks so much. No! Crumbs, we're going to write code to that. That's what we're going to do. Snoopaloopy broke out a drag and drop calendar into its own class library. Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Not just diabetes. Diabetes is a problem, but Kubernetes. Not Kubernetes. So how do we make Kubernetes and diabetes rhyme? Turn Kubernetes into that Wilford Brimley diabetes meme. Right? Kubernetes, of course, is that container orchestration and scalability framework that folks use. How can we make Kubernetes and diabetes rhyme and somebody work on that? There's a thing there happening, right? Cool. Let's get back into our project here. So when last we met, a little bit over 14 hours ago, I know, it was amazing. So we put together, and I'm waiting. My friend Ash Caravan there is gonna get some ideas for some voiceovers here. I know it. We were working through our availability screens that we've been putting together using Blazor. Blazor is, of course, that framework that we can use to write code with C#, with .NET, and it compiles and runs in the browser. We were working through this through our application, and we ran into some issues around date and time capture. There is a date control, right? A date box that you can use in HTML. There's a date input that you can use in Blazor. However, I need a date and time, and I need just time. I've got a couple places where I can use just date, but I have these couple of pieces that need to get those individual components. So we need to be able to receive that data appropriately from a website and process it so folks can key in and set their availability. And that's where we're going to go. So we have just date, we need just time, and we need date and time, the mix of the two. So we're going to do a little bit of work putting that together. Let's get some music playing here in the background. Of course, we're going to play some music to code by from our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin. You'll never guess what color I'm going to choose to play today. Well, and then we'll write code after I start playing the music. That's what we're going to do, Janescu. There we go. There's the music command. Thanks so much. And there's a link to Carl's recordings. Cyan, says Frackberg. Cyan? We're going to play Red today. This is music that's going to get you in the groove. It's going to get you in that state of flow where you're uber focused, right? You're hyper focused on whatever the task is you're working on. Whether it's writing code, doing homework, reviewing HR paperwork. I don't know. Or just doing chores around the house. Check it out. mtcb.pwop.com. Thank you, Carl, for letting us listen to your music here on the stream. Make sure you drop Carl a line. He is at Carl Franklin on Twitter. Let him know how much you enjoy his music and pick up your copy of 20 songs for $35. Each one's 25 minutes long. It's the length of a Pomodoro. Listen to it once. When it's done playing, take 5 minutes for yourself. Grab a cold beverage. Relax. Go for a walk. Come back, sit down, get right back into the task again and hit play, and you'll be productive. It's amazing. Give it a try. G Fuel up while you're away. There you go. Absolutely, Hugo. I'll do a little bit of that right now. All right. Let's get back into this. Let's take a look over at our source code. We're going to take a look over here. Something happened. There we go. There's my browser. Something happened here in Firefox. So I use this refined GitHub extension. You see it up here, right up there, way above my head where my pointer is. And it adds a bunch of functionality into GitHub so I can see where my fork is and a couple other features. Well, this more drop down just started appearing this morning, and I can't hide it. It's broken, and it overlays all my GitHub stuff. And now I feel bad. It's broken. It does not work. Somebody needs to fix it. Somebody write some JavaScript. Our friend Fanny Reinders was doing some work on his stream yesterday morning our time, morning European time, and he put together something that will listen. It's a bot that will listen to the microphone and play a sound effect, run an animation when it hears a keyword using Azure Speech Analysis. Oh yes. It's going to be amazing. Turning it off and back on again, says Ash. Well, I didn't say JavaScript again. Now I said it again. If I remove it and re-add it, right? I don't think I can turn it off. Right? There's enable it. I can't turn it off. Right? I would have to remove it and re-add it, and I don't want to remove it and re-add it because then I've got to re-authenticate and all that stuff. Hit it with a tuna, says Ash. No. Just disable the more drop down in the extension options, says Heidi-O. Where is it? Extension, manage extension, options. Where's the more drop down? More crumbs. Where is it? I can't even control F. No. More drop down. Goodbye. Okay, I turned that off and it's still here. Much better. All right, let's get into this.
Bazinga.
I need to make that a command that you can use in the chat room. Thank you, Heidi-O. Thank you. Points to you. There they are. Right, we need a Bazinga command in the chat room. We do. This is our resource management application. Here's where the source code is. let's put a project entry into here. Fixing bugs and improving data entry in our resource management application. Source at, there we go. Now you can get to the source code, and when folks come in later, hey, what you working on? Exclamation point project, and they'll get the list of what's happening here on stream. Okay, so this is our resource management application. It manages the availability, the scheduling, well, helps with scheduling. It doesn't do scheduling yet, but it manages the availability of volunteers for a nonprofit organization, an equine therapy organization called Sebastian Riding Associates. They help folks that need a little bit of help, that need a little equine therapy, get away from some of their challenges, whether they're physical, mental, or, and any other tragic circumstance, and let them experience a little bit of what it's like to have some horsemanship in their life. It's proven to be a good relief for some folks, so they help out with that, and we're going to help them by building this application to help manage the availability of their volunteers and staff. What do we got there, Hugo? Create an issue, report an issue, create a PR. Absolutely. Yes. So thank you, Corey. I do think this is a nice application. There's more we can do here. I need to, at some point, do more work off stream so that I can spend time focused in writing and less time, no offense, explaining and actually going through and building things. So we're going through and we're working on this, not this issue. Schedules are not saving properly. This issue right here is a big problem where the dates that we key in aren't actually being communicated. And we found out the problem was, like I said, the dates and times that we're keying in using our date time controls aren't properly relaying and passing those dates back into the application from the text box. So we got to fix that. You know what I mean? That's a problem, right?
It can be done exactly how I want it.
It can be done.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
Darn Skippy, I'm the right man to do it. Let me see them darn Skippies in the chat room. We're going to get this done today. You know what I mean? Know what I mean there? So let me show you what it looks like right now. Svava, what mischief? Oh, we got plenty of mischief today. Dee Dee's here. Good to see you. Thanks for them. Look at that. There goes the darn Skippies, right? Let me log into the application so you can see what this looks like. I'm using, of course, Microsoft Edge. I use a Canary build. I like to live dangerously. I need that. Danger is my middle name, right? Danger is my middle name. I like to live dangerously with my browsers. The Canary build, this is quite literally a nightly build from the folks that are working on Edge. Okay? I get it as soon as it rolls off the the conveyor belt. Fresh baked code, just like Grandma used to make. Anyways, so this way I can see all the latest features. We can try it out before it actually gets to other folks. The Canary build is available for anybody that wants to opt into it. There's also a weekly build that you can get into, and now there's a beta build that folks are suggesting that the Edge team is words. There's now a beta build that the Edge team is suggesting folks check out that they are ready to support. So Corey's right. The Canary build is surprisingly stable. It's really, really good. Snoopaloopy, sample projects if I'd like to use them. Let me. I sound like Bob Dylan all of a sudden. Let me click through to that, and I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. I really want to. I want to check out what you've written here and you're sharing with us. So here's my availability screen, and you see it now. That's so cool. It refreshes and shows you, here's the dates when I've got some sort of entry for my account that I need to check out. And if I click into the 20th, there you go. You see the two test items that we keyed in and we worked on last night, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And these are those one-time appointments that you schedule, right? I've got a dentist appointment on Friday. Monday, I got to drop the car off for car inspection. Actually, I do have to do that and make sure. There, you can hear Mrs. C. Sharp Fritz driving out. No. Hey, Stelzy, good to see you. So that's what this page does, and we've gotten these two, the start time and end time. We got this fixed. We took the input date directive component that the ASP.NET team built, and we extended it so it would handle not just date but time as well, because it was formatting for just date, and that's lame. So we made it better. We made it stronger. We improved it. And now, like the $6 million man, it's pretty impressive. We need to fix over here on our recurring events tab. What happens when we have that recurring schedule, right? You've got bowling league on Wednesday nights. I love the bowling league example. Everybody knows and understands bowling league. Sure, right. Fred Flintstone does that, right? Yabba dabba do. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m., that's when we've got bowling league, right? Whatever. Or maybe it's, whatever your recurring thing is that you have every week, right? Tuesday mornings from 8 to 10, I've got yoga. I don't know. Whatever your thing is, you want to be able to key it in here and specify those things. So I have two dates here, right? You're going to have the name of that recurring appointment, and it might be bowling league. And you're going to have a start date and end date. When does bowling league start? When does it end, right? The edges of your recurrence pattern. And when does it actually run? So it's from this date to this date at this time of day. Does it reoccur daily or weekly, right? So you could say, you know what? From the 25th through to the 31st, every day from 3 to 5 p.m. Rats. To 5 p.m., I've got, not bowling league. I've got school year prep. I don't know, right? School around here starts the first week of September, right after Labor Day. So, right, maybe you've got this and that occurs every day. Or maybe, right, it's going to occur every week on just Tuesdays. You have that option. You can key these things in and set that. The problem that we're running into is it's not, I don't think we're capturing the time properly here. Let's run this test real quick, confirm it, and see what fixes we need to do, and hopefully move on. I'm going to leave this at daily just to see. We should get it to pop up and show blues across here because it'll have that 3 to 5 p.m. If I click add, please tell me that works. No. Didn't work. Broken. What did we break? Well, sure looks like it saved something. And I saw it go by back here. Right, we saw...
Oh my.
I know. We saw this scroll by. So it did something. There's a select. Did it actually do the insert? I don't see it doing an insert. If it didn't do an insert, it didn't... Yeah, I don't think it actually got there. What'd you do? Also of note, it didn't clear... Right? It didn't clear the thing. You're welcome, EcoMath. I don't remember what you're referencing from Twitter last night. What did I say on Twitter? Did I do something on Twitter? I might have done something on Twitter. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that. Okay. So what did it? Okay, it's not actually hitting this. So that's an initial problem. Is there anything? And nothing's going into the console. So why isn't this doing anything? Why you no work? It's broken. All right, let's peel back.
What'd you do?
I don't know. We're gonna have to peel back the layers here, figure out why this add new recurring schedule isn't actually saving, and dig in from there. So I'm going to back up out of here And where are we? Recurrence data entry. So this is the recurring schedule. And where is it? This dot save, add new recurring schedule. Okay, so if I click save, if this on save has delegate, ooh, look at that. Gets a value to indicate whether the delegate associated with this event dispatcher is non-null. Hey. Okay. So it's going to set the cron pattern. Someone asked for stream tips. Oh, yes. Somebody did ask for stream tips yesterday, and I chimed in with some pointers. So if it does, calculate the cron pattern and go invoke async. This is interesting, right? This is something we decided early on, and it makes a lot of sense. As technologists, we already have a way to describe recurrence patterns, right? How things should repeat over time, right? And we do that with cron, right? The scheduler that we have on Linux and Unix-based systems. So why not just use that same string pattern? The database doesn't care what it is. Just stick that string pattern in the database somewhere, and it means a lot more data than just the 24 or so characters that we stuff into that database field. Then, when we select the data, we can get that cron pattern out,
and then
extract it, turn it back into a series of dates,
and then
compare them against each other,
and then
put them onto our display,
and then
generate a report for managers.
and then
No more and then.
and then
No more and then. Okay. So we are learning how to debug Blazor client-side bugs the hard way. It's a little
shame.
shameful.
Shame.
Yeah, Ash, and then. There's lots of and thens. There's 6 different and thens behind that and then command. Just like under the Scott command, there's 12 different Scots. 12? 10. I think 12. Yeah. They're all out there. So I want to check first to make sure that we have an on-save delegate set up here. I need a math command. What's the math command? What should the math command do, Ash? And I think we also were saying something about when sentiment hits 100. No, those are words. We should have like confetti or something fun on screen. But what should sentiment do when it gets down below 0? We have tacos. Everybody loves tacos. Right? Maths are hard. Nah. Regular expressions are hard. Regular expressions are going to be the death of me. All right, so I want to check. Let's pin this so we can take a look at this. So this is the method that gets called when you click that save button. Let's make sure first off that the availability page actually has, there it is. So it does have an on save add new recurring schedule here. Okay, so I'm going to go over add new recurring schedule. So new recurring schedule validate null. I wonder if we're hitting here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to check this, right? So this is a method that'll do validation, make sure that our recurring schedule has a thing here. And I'm going to do a console write line. No, write line. And, oops. Put the dollar outside so we activate string interpolation. This way we can mix and match text and C# code back and forth. Check this out. So I'm going to write failed validation with, and I'll say results dot count errors. So we're going to, results is a collection of errors of validation results that came out of our validation method. We first check to see if there were any in that collection, and if there are any, right? It stops and says return the results here. It doesn't actually do anything yet. But let's write out here, and we're going to stop in the middle of this text. Failed rep validation with. Switch to C# mode and say, give me that count of results. So it'll say failed validation with 5 errors, whatever they might be. I could write a for loop here and actually write out, here's what all the error messages are. Putting that in the console isn't where I want it. I actually want to highlight the controls. We'll save that validation issue for another day. But I think this might help us find it here. And it'll also verify if we actually get to this point. Right? Schedule, add new recurring schedule. Okay, this should actually do the save. So console write line, right? This is like old school debugging here. Attempting to write the schedule to the database. Okay. And we'll take a look at the HTML behind this in a little bit and see if we can do something. While that's building, let me take a look here at the chat room. 3V, hi, hello. Yeah, I like the regular expression format there. Codeman Codes, good to see you. I'm glad to see you're on your first Codeman Codes account, not Codeman Codes 2. I have a lot of accounts on Twitch. I've got, how many accounts do I have 22 accounts on Twitch according to LastPass. But there's some that I don't have in there. It's more like 26, I think. Jan Lyons is mostly lurking. That's okay. Welcome. As a really common way to debug complex JavaScript. Kelly has a mug, mousepad, and sticker for you then. Really? Ooh, that sounds good. I gotta log back in again. Really? That's fine. We'll do that. Question from 3V. Is there a reason I don't use the CW snippet for console write line? There's a snippet for console write line? Are you kidding? I've got to check that out. Hang on a second. Hang on. Give me a minute here. Let's take a look. See if we can get this to go. So I'm going to call this school prep. That's fine. I don't really care when those are. I'll have it go from 15 to 17 daily and go. Failed validation with 2 errors. Well, that explains it. What are the 2 errors? What are the 2 errors? Tick tock, tick tock. I gotta figure that out. They are regex cheat sheets. Ooh, Ecomath. I love some cheat sheets. Karsten, yes, what's up? What do you got? Time format wrong. Maybe. Could be. Could be. Let's find out. I didn't know there was a snippet for that. See, Sean didn't know there was a snippet for it either. Cecilia Creates. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah. We're trying to make our application better, stronger, less errors. So, let's see here. I had cheat sheets on my wall. Try saying that 5 times fast. Cheat sheets. Never mind. Got asked for a copy of them so many times. True story. Before I went to college and I had my first computer science course scheduled, and it was the first time I was going to work on a Unix machine. I'd done a little bit of Linux before, but I was working on Unix. My father, Papa C# Fritz, you've seen him drop into chat here every now and again. He's a longtime Unix administrator before he retired a few years ago. But IBM AIX were his thing. He knew these things inside and out. And he gave me his VI cheat sheet before I went to college. And I learned VI like it was nobody's business and completely forgot it when I got into the Microsoft ecosystem in the early 2000s. It's true. But I've picked it back up again. I'm still not quite where I was. I think Karsten's right that we might have a time issue here. So let's try setting this back to something that's before 12 o'clock. No, I'm still getting 2 errors. I'm willing to bet it's this parse on these times coming in. It's not receiving them properly. I don't think anybody can remember every and all snippets every time they're in Visual Studio, says Stelzy. You're not wrong. IntelliSense is a beautiful thing in Visual Studio. You know what? Let's put a quick for loop in here just so we can take a look at what those validations are. So I'm going to use a for each here. See that? I used a snippet. I can do snippets. There's a for each snippet here, and you know it's a snippet because it's got this little icon here that looks like that thingy. What is this? Add items from unimportant namespace. Oh, neat. That's right, that's coming. So you press tab twice, and in Visual Studio, this feature is also in Visual Studio Code. It'll expand the snippet for you and allow you to fix the items that need to be highlighted. So I'm going to call this a validation result. And for each validation result in the results, right? Now we can inspect those and we can write out what those are. Hey. All right. Console write line, and we're going to write what the validation result was. So that's a validation result error message. Sure. Let's see what that looks like. And we'll kick that back off again. Hey, ancient coder. Good to see you. Jan Lyon says, I see Papa C# Fritz as that one XKCD strip about sysadmins. There are so many XKCD strips about sysadmins. There's so many. Yeah, that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Smab, thanks so much for a little bit of moderation help there. Appreciate that. Here's the store with the regex cheat sheet stuff. There's also Git cheat sheets if anybody's interested. Nice. The one about the hostage situation. Can you link it? If you have it handy, can you do me a favor and link that? I'm just gonna go along here, see if we can, right, just trigger this, add new recurring schedule. Let's take a look at the console. Cron pattern is not a valid cron pattern. You make me feel sad. Duration must be at least 30 minutes. It is. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. I need that one too. I need that one. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Because everybody needs a little Bill and Ted in their lives.
Let's show off that cheer versus code snippet, shall we?
We should, and I've got some to key in from yesterday as well. Let's do that all at once here. Thank you, Hugo. Let's show that one off. This is a custom cheer snippet. You can see it right there when I put a cheer in from our friend Organic IT. Let's put some cheers in here. I have a couple that we need to do. So this is a custom snippet. You can add these. They're a little bit of code that you can add to Visual Studio. Tab twice, and it automatically puts this cheer graffiti into my code. I'm going to thank folks that contribute a little bit. And this one is from the Hugo Doll. There it goes. And today is the 21st of August. I've got a couple from last night to key in. I've got 200 that we had last night from Nothing Else Matters. There we go. We had 350 from Kizzy. Right, there we go. And finally, Crows had some for us. 500 from Crows. And of course, all of our cheers, I'll make donations to Coder Dojo. All of our cheers, I'll make donations to Coder Dojo.
You mean I can get into coding without doing anything?
Absolutely, Ash. You can. I gotta make sure I spell it right.
I'm not myself, just resubscribed for 8 months. C# Fritz is the bomb.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's not EM, it's I am not myself. I really appreciate that. And we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo. 8 months! Oh man. Thank you so much for that. There we go. And now I got a little ash in my code. It works, trust me, okay? There's a huge discussion about URL URList to get an API on Twitter. Okay, cool. More power to our friends Cecil Phillip and Burke Holland that are working on the URList project. Nice. Okay, so it looks like it's not getting those dates back properly. So here's what I'm going to do, right? Failed validation. Let's actually write out the that was a lot of keystrokes I hit instead of just doing, you know? I could have done that easier. There we go. Jan Lion says that XKCD for about sysadmins, that devotion to duty. This is the reference to Papa C# Fritz. We took the hostages, secured the building, and cut the communication lines, just like you said. Excellent. But then this guy climbed up the ventilation ducts, walked across broken glass, killing anyone we sent to stop him. And he rescued the hostages? No, he ignored them. He just reconnected the cables we cut, muttered something about uptime. Rats. We're dealing with a sysadmin. See, I'm not going to swear here on stream. You can see it there, but I'm not going to swear. Yeah, it's a sysadmin. That's accurate, highly accurate. Systems administrators, they care more about uptime than your happiness. The more you know. Okay. So, where was it? I was doing this whole CW thing. There it was. Here. Let's check and see the recurring schedule times. Make sure they're actually a thing. So it's a start time, right? Because it looks like it's not capturing those. So this is going to be new recurring schedule. Is it begin time? It's not min start time. Hang on. Well, I may have really screwed this up. Hang on. I'm not thinking this through properly. A recurring schedule. Ah, okay, hang on. Yes. Yes. Okay, the start time is actually burned into the cron pattern. We do watch our language here, Hugo. Did that give me happiness? Lots of happiness. Marie Kondo would be so happy. Can I ask you a question here, chat room? I had an idea for a segment for a show. The show we ended up not producing, but I had an idea for a show. Come in a little bit closer here, chat room. Thank you. I'm gonna squirrel here for a second, okay?
Squirrel!
I was thinking about taking a few minutes in the middle of every stream, maybe about an hour in, and having a segment called the Marie Kondo Minute, and discuss things that make you happy in your code, in your technology, and take a moment to decide what brings you joy and what doesn't bring you joy, and let's get rid of something that isn't bringing us joy and focus on those things that do bring us joy in our code, in our technology path. What do you think? Dee Dee loves the idea. If Dee Dee loves the idea,
Everything is awesome.
then it must be amazing, right? Sean, it makes him happy when it works. Douglas is on board with that idea. All right. So it's a winner for sure. So yeah, Ash, and then we'll talk about it. We'll have a cool wipe and a title segment that appears, the Marie Kondo Minute, starring Jeff Fritz, who has nothing to do with Marie Kondo whatsoever. And then we'll focus on it. We'll delete some code, and everybody will be happy. How's that? Go for it, says Ancient Coder. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. And that's my TED Talk. No? Can we get exactly that as the intro? Delete code. Deleting code with Jeff Fritz. It's the Marie Kondo Minute. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to put that... Look at this. Here's my notes. Look at these action items. So we did the cheers. We got to get rid of those. I need the danger is my middle name. When sentiment hits 100, we should have some confetti or something fun, you know, and maybe even a fanfare, trumpet fanfare, right? That'd be cool to go along with that. 100% sentiment. Chat room's really happy. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K because everybody needs a little Bill and Ted, and we're gonna plan the Marie Kondo Minute. About an hour into the show, into the stream. And then, oh, I did it. Hang on. will. Hey, 1 second here. I'm talking. Ooh, the Apple startup bong. Yeah, we could do that. I do need to switch scenes. You're right. I got to get back over here so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Make it happy like Marie. Maybe. And tacos. Rain tacos and confetti. I think we need to take time on Friday and build some of these. Can we do that, chat room? You okay with that? I think we can do that. Cherish the good things, and then you can go forward in coding with JavaScript. No. JavaScript is one of those things that's going to go in my Marie Kondo minute. Sorry, I want C#. Okay? All right. So I've got that on the to-do list. We'll figure out Marie Kondo minute. We're going to need a cool intro and overlay. It'd be neat if we had an overlay that had a list of here's what I'm getting rid of and here's what I'm keeping. And we discuss what are those wonderful things that we cherish in our code and that we can't stand. Oh, I don't have the voice modulator on me. I need to get the voice modulator running again. I haven't done that in a few weeks. Eternal Dev Coder gets right to the point here.
Squirrel.
When will ASP.NET Core 3 be released? September 23rd, 2019 as part of .NET Conf. I need to put the logo in the box. It's over here. There! Right there. I need to put the .NET Conf logo in the box. It's going to be announced. It's going to be launched as part of the keynote for .NET Conf. That's an all-day, literally all day, virtual conference that you're going to see on September 23, 24, 25, featuring not one but 2 code parties. That's a trivia contest, game show, and talk show where you can win prizes. We've got all kinds of great stuff that we're going to be giving away, including, I don't know. We're going to be giving away stuff. We should give away like a tour of the Channel 9 facility at some point or something like that, right? We're going to give away an Xbox. There, DD's, right? A Surface Go. We're going to give away a Surface Go. Yes, today's track, this is Red. Thank you. I am all over the place here today. Hang on. See what I did there? I hold the G Fuel container so you can't see the label because they're not a sponsor of the stream, so they don't get to see it. But I keep talking about it. More than one Surface Go. True story. At our code party at Build, one of our guests, Ninja Bunny 9000, some of her friends were tuning in, and wouldn't you know, like one of her best friends that's on her stream a lot was joined in and won the Surface Go. Like, oh my gosh, it was great. I need a .NET Conf command too. We need a .NET Conf command. Some of these ideas. Hey, thank you for the shout out to Ninja Bunny 9000. It was not rigged. Totally not rigged. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've got to get to that rainbow beard. Good point. We are 600 followers away from 8,000. When we get to 8,000, I'm going to dye my beard rainbow. And if we do it before September 15th, I will dye it for .NET Conf and TwitchCon. As a salute to you. I'm going to be interviewing folks, including some Microsoft VIPs, with a rainbow beard. As a thanks and a salute to our Twitch community. It'll be at TwitchCon and .NET Conf. TwitchCon's later on in the week. I've got a workshop I'm presenting on behalf of Twitch. Do you want to see this face with a rainbow beard on Twitch, on a Twitch stage? It's true. It'll happen. I think I can share my proctors for that TwitchCon workshop. If you're going to TwitchCon, you want to go to the TwitchCon workshop. The proctors, the folks assisting me, Node Botanist. You know Node Botanist. They're doing a lot of IoT stuff, a lot of Node stuff in the afternoons. And the one, the only, Fierce Kittens will be helping you learn how to write code at TwitchCon as part of our workshop. Big shout out to Node Botanist. Absolutely. Hey, Kasukin. Good to see you. let's see here. Yep. I'd like to suggest a pre-recorded segment where Jeff rides up on a horse and gives a few nuggets of inspiration and then rides off into the sunset. That would mean I'd actually have to get on one of my horses. Are you kidding?
Bits for Blazor.
Bits for Blazor. Thank you so much, Kasukin. Yes. We're doing a little bit of validation here and trying to figure out what's going on with our cron patterns here, because it looks like it's not loading them properly. I'm going to put that shear in right here where we're working. And Kasukin, there we go. 21st, that'll go right underneath Ash's shear. There we go. So the cron pattern that's coming out here isn't calculated yet. So let's take a look at what the cron pattern is. Right, so the cron pattern is that pattern in our code. Right, now that we get back into this, don't freak out. And we're gonna figure out what it's actually saving here, what it got, because it's clearly not activating properly. Paging Scott, what did Scott do? Karsten asks, where do I combine the date and time from min start time? It's actually done. Where is it? Over here. So, hey, go away. Shoo. I'm working here. Here, calculated cron pattern. So it takes the time of day. Wait a sec. Where's it getting the duration then? End time. This end time is end time add time span from days 1. Right, if the time of day is greater than it, so it goes over the recurrence. Okay. So the duration is end time, right. So end time is keyed in, time of day. So this is the start time, this is the end time. I don't like that name then. This is the template that we're using to actually build and host that control. So you see these labels and inputs, right, for all the different fields there. So here's our start date, right? It's called start date, right? It's a label for the start date field, and there's start date, and this is a label for end date, and there's the end date. And these are binding to, look at that, min start date and max end date. Okay, so those are the two dates. Good for the recurrence pattern. When does bowling league start? When does it end? What days? And here's the start time and end time. So start time is coming in as time of day. End time is coming in as end time. So those, when, I need to see when this actually fires. It's actually going to calculate the end time. Calculate cron pattern happens right before it invokes that method that was wired up for on save. So this should calculate the cron pattern properly, or not. Let's see. Let's take a look. Availability, recurring events, right? School prep, sure, okay. 9 p.m. daily, go. Let's see what it actually put in here. Here we go. Cron pattern 00 star star star. Okay, so first off, those are wrong. Right, as a cron pattern, cron expression was not a correct format as 6 or 7 values separated by a single space. So yeah, we're missing a deal there. Great Scott freak out a little. Purple sequence, where? Speaking of high horses, I might want to Google Key and Peele, there's magic in this apartment. Really? Really, Mordecai? Make it a high horse, maybe. Why not have sentiment analyzing hat with some RGB LED things on the hat if you get 10,000 followers? Well, that's a one-time thing, and we're really far off from that, so I got plenty of time. Don't need to worry about that one yet. Okay. Just want to make sure, recognize awesome people of the community. Absolutely, Hugo. What did I miss? Oh, the shout-outs. Yes. All right, so I'm not calculating the cron pattern properly. Right? So there's a, what is it? Cron tab guru, what was it? Crontab.guru, right? So I'm seeing a couple things here. Right? Let's get rid of these other ones. This is saying the correct format is 6 values separated by a single space character, but I provided 5 characters. What's the 6th character? According to this, there's only 5. Minute, hour, day of the month, day. I mean, what's the 6th character? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, 3V. Right? Because that validation error is I don't know. It's not that. Here, it's this one. Cron helpers validate cron. From Cron Espresso. Yeah? I don't think you're Cron Espresso. So this is a library that we're using to help validate and structure some of our cron statements here. This would output. Well, I don't want hourly. Generate daily cron expression. New time span. Well, I could do that and get the right cron tab for it. So we get daily at 2 p.m. That would work. I could do that. 6 is year. I'm gonna cheat and use this method. Right, so let's go back up to here. Right, where it's generating the cron pattern. Instead of doing a string builder and putting this together, let's actually use this. Right, so if we turn this around, get rid of these, get rid of that. We don't need that one anymore. Right? Do something like this. So instead of time span, we can say time. Hey! Time of day, which is a time span. So that if it's daily, then we'll make it a daily. Let's control dot that. Yep, get my using statement. So that gives me a string. All right. Var out pattern. Out pattern equals this. Otherwise, I can say out pattern equals. Do we have cron generator? Generate. Not weekday. Now you make me sad. Because now I want to be able to say list days of week. Yes, that might do what we need. So that'll be time of day. Yes. And the days of week. That's a. What is that? How was I using that before? Take care, Dee Dee. Thanks so much for joining us. Hey, Bandit Dave, welcome. Chris Bartow. Second what? It can start with milliseconds, says Marcus Voice Programmer. Really? Am I a case or if kind of coder? I like the ifs better. Meetings. Everybody's got meetings, right? All right. Let me go back to this code. Yes, please. Show me how to use this. What was that? Multi-day. Days to run. New list, days of the week. Cool. That's not right. That's not right. Right? Because the days of the week, it should be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? If I copy that and go back over to our cron tab wizard, it don't like that. Get rid of that one. Minutes, hours, days of the month. Why question mark? Right? That should be star. And now that works. Well, wait. Yeah, that's month. Month, day. What's this one? Right. We still had... There was a 0 up front when this thing started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So... I'm not a fan. I don't like that because, right, the format that it generates... Right, 00611 star. I'm not a fan of that. Is there a way for me to configure this? No. Based on the Quartz cron format, including the year value. Oh, are you kidding? I don't care. I want to see your cron format. Where's the search? Search? Come on. Now, I am really...
Squirrel.
I don't care. I mean, I guess we can do... Right? The list of the days of the week. Well, the days of the week that were selected... Right, so this is a string collection. There it is. Hash set days of the week. And the days of the week that are being keyed in, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should be able to cast them back from the enum to get the days of the week. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like that. No. It's a list of the days of the week, alright? Let's see if we can cast this quickly, right? Days of the week, that's the parameter coming in. It's a hash set of the string. Can I say to list? Okay, so that created a list for each, and we'll take action on those. Yes. Oh no, it won't let me change it. Cast? I don't want to cast. I'm not going to be able to do this fluently, am I? To be able to cache and flip it over real quick. Take cast and flip it over. I don't want to write a for loop. That's going to be annoying. I want to be able to do this in one line of code. It's like code golf. How can I do this in at least number of a select? Oh. Yeah, okay, we could do a select. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, SourceScoot, good to see you. So if we do write enum parse, right? And we want this to be day of week. And the value is going to be D, right? And we're going to want to cast this to day of, hey, day of week, right? I need a typo on that. Semicolon. Okay, so now that should be an IEnumerable day of week. Fantastic. Because now I can say, oh, it needs to be a list? Fine. That should work. Let's see if we can get that to work. Mordecai says, frustrating that we still don't have generic versions of these enum methods built in. Yeah. Mother Chod 5, is that Mother Chods? Mother Chods, I don't know. What do you think about the JavaScript ecosystem? Horses love JavaScript. They do. I have some concerns about the JavaScript ecosystem because there's a lot of the low-level stuff that's going on as part of what you find in NPM that everybody depends on should really be simplified into a base class library. There should be some base set of objects that everybody starts depending on. I look at problems like the pad left problem we had a few years ago, and
Wait, let me explain something to you.
Do I really need 3 lines of code installed from an NPM repository, and then it has dozens of lines of unit testing to go along with it that I need to download and install for every application, instead of just having that part of some base set of features that everybody has, and some base set of utilities that we can reference and knit together as a collection that is a little bit more durable, a little bit more reliable and maintainable than what's going on where you've got thousands of these things that you need to knit together and you don't really have accountability back and forth across package managers in the package manager ecosystem. It's amazing that the organic way that it's grown and happened, but those packages, they worry me. So node modules get to be huge and annoying. Yes. Let's take a look here and see if we can get some data. Make this 9, make this 11, F12, and bang. Okay, so I've got a cron pattern and it validated, and it duration must be, so it's not receiving the duration properly is what I'm seeing, right? It got it. So let's take a look back. All right, so I'm in here, right? Recurrence data entry, right? So it's telling me that the start time and end time, the values being submitted here are not, I bet it's the format that we're running into. Bind value format. See, but wait a sec. Right, it's that. I don't want to force a format on folks, right? Think of the ecosystem of JavaScript like you shoot your horse, ouch, and buy a new one every couple of weeks because the new one looks fancier. Yeah, we're going to need to use the ancient coder. Thank you, ancient coder. going to keep an eye on that one. I see what you're saying. We could use culture info, culture UI, and get the short time pattern here. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh my gosh. System threading thread. No. Do I have to put an add in front of this? There it goes. Ugh. Current thread. There we go. Let's see if we can get that. Well, now wait a sec. Can I convert from time span to date time? Okay. And this is, these are both time spans. I don't, okay. So if we make these both date times, even though they're only receiving time parts, then that looks stupid. Why didn't it like that? Oh, there, that works. Yes. I don't like that name. Let's see if it captures. See if we can get that to capture our data. There we go. What did I miss? All right. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? There's. All right. Availability. Recurring events. Yes, yes. All right. So it doesn't have a time for me to start. That's fine. Sure. Right. And if we have this go to whatever. No. Still not capturing that. Ooh. Oh my. I have something to share with the group here in just a minute. Oh my gosh. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. This could be amazing. It looks like, right, these values, even though it's got a really bad name, are not being populated properly. Let me see. Can I do an F2? Is it gonna pick it up in the Razor also? It did. Good. Okay. It looks like it's not updating that time properly, being passed through, right? I think we're going to need to dig into that a little bit. We're going to need to take a look at that one. Let me restart this. Let's see what it actually has in that format field, because it's clearly not getting that. I don't think it's getting that data into the dealio for us here. Let's go back over to this. I don't care. Sure, whatever. Right, and if I go to like that and F12, right now I want to click on this. What is that?
Inconceivable!
Oh my.
I know! I don't get it. Encoding indeed. Why does this have to be so hard? Why? I'm going to receive time from a time field. It's a type equals time. Should it be local time? Is that what I'm missing here? HTML input type time. Right? Yeah. What's the deal here? 12-hour, 24-hour. Firefox's time control is similar to Chrome's, up and down, based on system locale. My system locale is configured for 24-hour. That's why I'm getting the 24-hour format. The Edge time control is somewhat more elaborate, opening up an hour and minute picker. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I like it. But what it saves... You can set a default value for the input by including a valid time in the value attribute by creating the input element like so. I don't think it's binding format properly at all. And part of me wants to put that into a string instead and cast it over to a time span after it gets there, because I don't think it's loading that properly. Yeah, spicy condiment. There is a time field. What? No, it's not a conflict. It's not receiving it at all. And I would have to write my own time, input time, ugh. Right, I wrote date time input, which is an extension to do this. I mean, I could copy and paste and do the exact same thing again. It feels stupid to do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I specialize in stupid. And I'm going to call this just time input. And the format, I need to get the current UI thread format here. So let's get rid of that. Right? Where'd it go? Date format. I just nuked it. Where'd it go? This is going to be just time here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I'll just leave it at that. Date format equals thread, no. System, threading, thread, current UI culture. Oh yeah. What was it? It was, what was it? To get the short time. We just did this. Date time format. That's what it is.
Hey, listen.
Yes. How can I help you? Yeah, date time format. So if I put that in there, now we've got the appropriate time format here. That's fine. Format the value. What is this? Case, datetime value. Yes, that's fine. Try parse value from string. Okay, datetime format doesn't exist down here yet. I'll grab it and do the exact same thing right there. Bazinga. And we'll do the same thing here. Bazinga.
Bazinga.
See, there it is. I think that'll take care of all of that. And let me move my hack of a time input, and we can really turn these probably into one component that we just specify its time or its date, and it pivots appropriately. I don't want to get into thinking about that right now. Okay. Now let's go back over to here. No, the razor. There it is. So now I don't need format on this because I'm already specifying that. Get rid of this. I do need an event. Yep, bind value start time. Sure, I'll give it an ID. Don't need the time. Sure. And now this can become time. I thought we called it time input. Time input. Time input. And I can do the same thing down here. Time input. Get rid of this. Don't need all that. Build it. Oh no. Yeah. What are we missing here? It's right here. Hey Draco, good to see you. Welcome back. That is so cool. I'm at a loss as to why this is erroring out. Let me clean the solution and rebuild it. Just to make sure there isn't anything funky laying around. What did I do? Oh my goodness. It's really not good. All right, hang on. Recurrence data entry. Okay. Cannot be, the type of component cannot be inferred based on the values provided. Right. Well, that's a date time, so I should be able to do like, right? It should be bind value. That's case sensitive. That's what it is. And I think and if this works, I've got something I want to show you, chat room. Something that I'm working on for the live coders that just came in and looks amazing. Okay, availability, recurring, school prep, that's good. And we'll have this at 9, no, at 9, have it go to 11. Now why did I get an error on that? Still didn't receive it.
What's that?
I don't know, Jack. Now I'm confused. All right, let me take a minute here. I want to show you something, and I want to get your initial feedback here, chat room, because it means a lot to me. a few days ago, I got the initial proof for a team jersey for the live coders, and I shared what it looks like here on stream. And this is the shirt that I'm going to have made for all the streamers on team. We're sponsored by Content Lab, and I think it looks really hot. Well, I just got the proof in for the back of the jersey. Oh, baby. Oh my gosh. Right? I am not myself? I really like it. Oh my gosh, I am so thrilled. Wow. I'm going to be ordering a 45 of these today. Now the question is, folks don't have their numbers. I didn't ask for numbers for these. So if folks want numbers, they're going to have to give me a number to have printed on it. I'm going to need to get that quick so we can get this order submitted. Does the nickname come with the @ sign in front of it? No. No. I am not myself wants to be 0. Okay, you can be 0. So, that looks really, really hot. We were concerned about the font on the back of the jersey. Where'd it go? I just had the back of the jersey one open. I was concerned initially about, right, this font for the name. When we've got somebody with Ninja Bunny 9000 that's got to fit across there, that's going to be really long. Or Tyler Leonhardt, that's really, really long. C# Fritz, right? So I've got to make sure they fit well. So, oh, you want 0 as in off 0. Nice. Nice. We'll make that font Comic Sans, says Stelzy. I'm gonna... give me 1 second here. All right. Let's see. So it's still not, even though I turn these into time fields, it's still not getting my values submitted through here. Yes, everybody gets tacos. And it's binding to this time changed event. Can we take a look at time changed? Here. Is there something going on there as this data is coming in? Here we go. If the end time does not equal null, return. Wait a sec. That's wrong. This should be, right, because end time is going to be a date. If it does equal null, return. Do our calculation. I have a feeling it was erroring out. It was not processing right there. Because it's always not null, because the date. Dates are always null, not null. They're always a thing. If you excuse me for just a minute here, chat room, I need to post into Discord. Where's Discord? I need to post this into the live coders. I just got the proof for the back of the jersey. There we go. So they can see what it looks like. All right, back over to here. Availability and recurring events. I don't care. This, and this will be 9, 11. I don't know why I've got an error. A red line appearing on that. No! Why am I getting a red arrow, a red box on that? Is it this? Oh, look at that. Culture info variant culture instead of current UI culture. Because I'm using current UI culture. Right here, these ones, they won't work. Right, because it's on the wrong culture settings. Okay, this. Try this again. This. Right, 9. No. No. It's not picking up those dates at all. Think. What do we got, Jeff? There's got to be a way to do this. If we receive them just as a string and we cast them to a time after they've been... Right? Because I don't actually need them as a time until I do the time processing. I can receive that string and deal with it, right? Dr. Count Carl asks, who felt that JavaScript is the whole ecosystem is unbelievably confusing? For example, NPM updates a package from 0.2 to 0.2.5 and breaks your Babel linter, which translates your ES5 into ES6, which doesn't run on blah, 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 blah. I never thought we have to compile JavaScript. You're not wrong. No, there are not predefined values anymore. You're right. I'm not sure I need this. Right, I think. Let's try converting these to strings. Right, so it's going to be a string. Go back over here. Turn these back into... Right. There's the format. And these need to be bind value with a capital V. And okay. And it doesn't like that because it wants a date time for those. If I make these date time, and so I'm not using that time input control yet. Let's run this, and then I'm going to open the Chrome debugger so we can take a look at what's going on with that. I'm almost there with you, Snoopaloopy. I'm almost there, but the bind wants it to be a date time. Right? Let's just see what this... Right, so it's back to these again. Right? And now it's not throwing that error. It's still not passing it in. Right? I'm not getting those date times here. Let's see if we can figure out where it's going. So I'm going to open Chrome and we'll hit the Chrome debugger here and figure out what's going on. That's really large. That's really, really large there, friend. Right? F12. Shift-Alt-D. So now I get the debugger opened. Right? Let's take a look over here. Thank you. I'm going to open these up and view models. Recurrence data entry view model. So here in time changed, this one, right? So if I make this 9, okay, that didn't fire. This event didn't fire. I would have stopped there. Well, maybe it did, and I just got caught there. Okay, still didn't fire. That time changed. That value changed, and we didn't get anything on that. Right? That is these right here. Right? Bind value event time changed. So I'm not getting it actually. Let's continue. When the save button is pressed, it recalculates the cron pattern. But it's not even getting the scheduled duration yet. Right? Let's hit that. Okay. Right, so if I step in. Mono. Mono. Get out of there! No. I'm down in the weeds and I can't get out of this. Right? I want to get to... I'm going to get into calculated cron pattern, which is this. No, didn't hit it. Right, there's that. Here. This dot pattern, right? So if I try and step in, now I get down into mono and I can't get out. Right? So it is, and I should get an out pattern there, and down here. Oh, look at that. It's telling me what the out pattern is right there. Okay. It's wrong, but okay. Can I use the console and get at this dot start time? No. No. I'm gonna have to do some console outright lines here, so we can get this. So we're not receiving it. I'm making sure that I get this jersey order in so that it gets done and delivered in time for TwitchCon. Sorry about that, chat room. That's kind of rude of me. I apologize. That's bad on me. I feel bad about that. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's throw some console write lines at this like it's going out of style, because I can't get the debugger to fire in there. I can't. Yeah, it looks like the values are not being calculated, right? The event, this event, right? Look, 0 references, but it's not being triggered. It's right here. The bind value event binds the provided expression. That's really small, Visual Studio. To an attribute and a change event based on naming of the bind attribute. For example, bind value event on change will assign the current value of the expression to the value and assign a delegate that attempts to set the value to the on change attribute. What else can I put in there? No, it's got to be event. All right. Does it need to be? Well, HHMM is my UI culture. Let's see. What if, right? Okay, that is the right casing. Right, because these aren't doing anything. So that tells me, right, this isn't being run at all. So I'm going to move this, start moving this, down into calculate cron pattern, because we need that duration, right? So, right, we calculate the cron pattern, so we'll get the duration, and we'll be able to do the rest of this. Yeah, I think that's right. Can we do the fire the time changed in the setter of the value? I could. Yeah, I could do that. But this isn't called. The fact that that's 0 references bugs me. You know? Is it perhaps that? No. Right? Because it's not picking up. It's not picking this up as a C# thing. If I put the @ in front of it, will it compile that? Having the event handler be async supported. Yes, it is. Yes. Build succeeded. It still doesn't answer why my start time and end time don't get populated, right? Right, if I go over here, still has a 0 there. Okay. Start time, right? Start time. End time. See what's in those, right? We're gonna back up. We're gonna try this again. Need to set time format? Well, I've got the time format already specified right here, and I'm pulling it off the UI thread, so I should have that properly. Let's dig in here and take a look-see. And I'm gonna open up my console while we're waiting. Rats! I gotta log back in. And then, there it is. Availability. Recurring. This. Sure. Right, 9. 11. Okay. Go. Look at that. It didn't receive. It didn't bind that value at all. Those are min values. It didn't receive the value being passed in from them at all. This dot start time, this dot end time should be this and that. And it's not putting it into those fields at all. Right? I mean... This shouldn't be this hard. We had this working. Okay. If I get rid of all the rest of this, right? Let's do the nuclear option here. Right? If I get rid of all of that, and I just say bind, right? Do I get the values then? No, doesn't need to be parameter. Nope. Parameter would be if we're passing in from outside. We're not. This is a property on the object. It's not a parameter that's being passed into it. This, that. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, that's a problem now. I set a time and it nukes it. Give me string. There was a bind value culture. Yeah. So the nuclear option really doesn't work. Maybe I don't need the format. Maybe I just need the culture? That doesn't make sense, though. Why am I specifying... Right? I mean... That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. Right? Bind value culture... and specifying a culture there, it's like, just use the culture that the browser's using. Bind value format like this. Specifying the format for the date type field isn't recommended because Blazor has built-in support to format dates. Well, it's not very good, is what I'm running into. Bind value format, blah, blah, blah. You can also use the bind culture parameter to specify a system globalization culture info. Specifying a culture isn't recommended. Oh dear God. Blazor's bind functionality performs globalization based on the user's current culture. So it's already there. It's already passing in the current culture. This would be if we want to force it to something else. So what if we change this to, right? Let's try forcing it to HHMM format. Right? Just give me something. Give me anything. There should be format. Right? There's got to be a thing there. Come on. Alright, log in. Go. Hopefully we get some. Okay, now I've got dates appearing here again. Right? It's preloaded with something. No! Net layer, there is a difference. It should all be capital bind capital V. So these are actually wrong. Right? It should all be capital V for bind value. Give it a second, that'll correct itself. Oh, are you kidding me? I am so spun around on these Blazor input controls that I don't. Right, and I feel like they're misbehaving no matter what I do. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be capital, is the way that it's supposed to work now. So this... No. Alright, so let's try flipping it the other way. Right, if it was working with the lowercase v's, let's make it the lowercase v's. What format is posted back? Good. Well, it's not posting back. See, ready. Where'd it go? There it is. There is no post back. We're not even getting to the post. It's inside the browser. It's all within the WebAssembly space, right? So here, this, that, right? And make this something like that. And no. There is no post back happening. This is all happening browser side. The values are not being loaded. Right? Even though this is what's keyed in, it's not doing anything with it. Hey, wow, Darth NPC Soul. Nice. It's Mr. Gourmet. Yes, this is Visual Studio. You are correct. So I can't use a time control. Right, if I were to change one of these to a string, it knows. Yeah, there we go. It won't let me write the string in there. Hey, thanks for the follow, Darth NPC Soul. Welcome. Somebody's gotta have a solution for this. Where'd it go? Blazor time data entry. There's gotta be a way to do this. No. 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 Maybe? No. 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 What do we got here? Data entry forms of validations. Blazor component wraps chart.js widgets. Ooh. Blazor storage for local and session storage in the browser. Neat. Toaster style notifications. May want that at some point. Swagger document generation. But it is really close to the same issues we were having, but it's even worse with the time entry. It's not. Look, let's change these over to that date time entry, to the time input. Which means I can get rid of this, get rid of that. These do need to be capitalized because it is an actual thing on the component. Try that one more time. No! What's it run into? Ooh. Oh, wait. I still have... Yeah. My bad. Can we pull up the datetime component and see what you did? Yes, it's... Let me hit this real quick. Come on. Here it is. Darn it! Gotta log in again. This, that, this one. Okay, now here we go again. Right? 10 to noon. See, and I get the red appearing around it. Doesn't have the right times that it's returning. Right, and I don't know why I'm getting the red borders. It's like it's not verifying and saying, oh, that's a proper date. So, yeah, what is making that validation? So if we take a look at the time input control component, format value is string, right? I don't think the current UI culture is working here. Switch value, and it's doing pattern matching here. Try parse value from string. If target type equals type of date time, and it is, try parse date time value out results. Right, so I am right up against time and I am at a loss here. Can I output the T value? I don't think it's the T value. I want to output this. This value that it's right outputting. The format value it's doing, but try parse value from string I think is where it's right. I want to output the value it has here. Hey. Raw value. Date format. Thank you for the follow. Let's see if we can get those two to pop up for us here. Who's that? Who's our new follower there? Wow. Shelby Zillatron, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you tuning in today. Maybe the time input always posts a specific format back. Well, we're not... Remember, we're not posting back. We're inside the context here. Right? Something fired there. There it is. There we go. Look at this. Raw format, 10 double aught. The date format is wrong. That is not the UI culture format from me. Right? I want to be able to get... I don't think it's getting the UI culture format from the browser. Because the UI culture, right? It should be... Right? Maybe if we just said current culture there. Right? Because maybe that's the threading, the format we're going to get from the browser. Maybe current culture and current UI culture in the browser are two different things. I could force it to HHMM because that's my format. When it's in your browser and you don't have 24-hour configured, you're going to have something else. And that's a problem, right? Bang. So it's not picking up the format from the browser, the culture format from the browser, right? Date time format. Yeah. Short dates, long dates, parsing dates. Right, it's date and time, how to format date. Is it always ISO? Well, if it's always, I'm going to need to drop out here in just a second. Hang on. Look at MDN for time again. All right, hang on. No, wrong one. No, I want this on MDN. There we go. Oh, there it was. Current time formatting. There we go. Right, somewhere the culture is being specified and being handled inside the browser. Let's see. Go back to this. Okay, that's getting information about it, setting information about it. I want to know to locale date string returns a string with locally sensitive representation of the date based on system settings. So if I say, right, if I take that, no. Right, if I say new date, right, to locale date string, I get that. I get that time, but I want to know the formatting Returns the time portion. Yeah. But I want to get the formatting to locale format. Is it any wonder why? Nope. Hey, Odin-san. If Blazor's using culture info on the format on the input itself, maybe Blazor gets confused since your local format isn't the same as ENUS. Yeah. Huh. Oh, wow. Absolutely. Loving the JavaScript right now.
Bazinga.
Ugh. Back over to this. So that's the format that's being picked up. But it's clearly not the date-time format that's being used, right? HTML time input. Because that's putting it into different formats based on my browser preference. Right? So min and max, appearance. Right? For your locale, you should be able to put it in whatever format you want. The value of the time input is always in 24-hour format, regardless of the input format, which is likely to be selected based on the user's locale. Ah! So... private const string date format. It is hard-coded everywhere to be that. It's always returned in that format. Whiteland 92 should have used Unix time.
Put the candle back.
Can't go there. All right. It built. Let's see if it goes. Come on. Debugging in Blazor is not exactly easy.
You have to ask me nicely.
You have to ask very nicely. I can't wait for these tools to come along a little bit. So now if I do this. Okay. And it's got a green border. Okay. Now. We're close. We're very close, friends. Okay, so it received the appropriate values being passed in here. Let's dig in and make sure that what's being returned as the values in these is correct, right? Format value is string. That's not where we're at. We're at try parse date time in here, right? Bind converter. Try convert to date time value. System threading. This needs to go back to culture info invariant culture. it's in the wrong culture, so it's right. It's not parsing it properly, right? Try that one more time. We are so close, so close. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. Yeah. All right, this. Here we go. That and that. Open this up so we can see what's going on. Sure. That. Looking good. No. All right. Okay, so I think it's in here. Try parse date time. And it's only got a time format. So parsed value is a date time. All right, so let's parsed date time is parsed value. Right, and I didn't have to go down into all this stuff for the other part that we did this. That should be fine. Let's see what that looks like. Right. Fantastic. If there are any live coders in the chat room, I need you to check in. There we go. And if you want a number on your jersey, I need to get your numbers. I need to get the numbers. Right? Looking good so far. Look at that. It did parse the date time properly. I don't care about the date part, but I... Wait a sec. That's not right. That's right. That's not right. Okay, that's right. Because I only had one in there first. It parsed it as I was keying it in. So, okay. I'm okay with that. All right. So, that's correct, and that's correct. So, what it parsed out of those fields is correct. So, I'm okay with that. Snoopaloopy, I'm not going to go near time span right now. Date time should work. Okay. So, it is parsing those values correctly, which means, right, that the result, and it should have returned true from this, which gets passed back to here when it try parse value. So success is true. If success, validation error message is null, return true. Okay, so I don't have a validation error message here. Fine. Then the value that it's returning, right, because I'm... Oh, man. Should be going into this dot start time. Right? And saves, calculate cron pattern, then outputs what those two values are, and it doesn't have values. So why am I dropping those? I am really lost on this one. I mean, we've been fighting this one for 2 hours. Wrangling and roping and trying to push on this. And those values should be bound and going into my... Right, I should be getting it calculating that properly, right? But it's not the same. It's not the value that it parsed here. Well, I'm not combining it, right? The parsed value is correct. The value, bind converter, format value, current value as string. Okay. Right, so we've got the parse and format. These all work properly. But building the render tree here, right, it adds the additional attributes that may be on it. That's fine. It's a time class, time input, the CSS class, the value, current value as string. Okay. So time input is a date time, right? The T value is coming off of the type of what's being bound to it. Right? If I look at this, right, that's a date time, so it knows that it's a date time that it's binding to, right? Because it does a thing in here where, right, here's the value that it's trying to bind to, right? And it's determining that it's a date time value because it goes into here. Culture info. That may have been it. Yeah, I need to call it here because I've got a phone call in 10 minutes. And I'm gonna send out you know what? Let me drop a quick shout out here. I've been talking about all the work I'm doing for this jersey for the team. Let me share with you the company that I'm working with on this. They've been really great. No, not receiving it. Let me check this in, and we'll come back to this. Right. Yep. Nope. Let's wrap things up. All right. Time format for the recurring schedule. There we go. All right. Now that's available. That's available in my private repository on GitHub if you want to go look it up. And if you have an idea what can fix that, I'm going to try and reach out to some of the folks on the Blazor team and see what I'm missing here, because I feel like I'm just short of getting this working properly. I want to throw a quick shout out. I've been talking about the custom jersey that I'm having made. I'm working with Custom Esports to make these jerseys. Fully customizable jerseys. They have a designer that'll help you make these jerseys look really nice. And they've been working very hard with me over the past week to try and take our vision for what a jersey for live coders should look like and help make this really cool. So the folks that signed up on the live coders team, they're going to get a jersey either at TwitchCon or shortly after when I get them mailed out. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, I'll be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow. My guest will be Matt Byers from Raygun, and we're going to talk about adding monitoring into our applications. Particularly, we're going to see if we can put some monitoring into this application so we can track errors and we can maintain state. We know when it's up, when it's running. Let's take a look and see if there's somebody out there that we can raid. And I'm going to set up for a raid to... Yeah, Great Scott indeed. Let's set up a raid to... Let's see. You know what? Let's raid... Who am I going to raid? Eeny, meeny, miny... You know what? Let's do something fun. Let's do something a little bit different. We're going to raid Imperial. She is a... Let's do something a little bit different. We've been doing a little bit of code here. But Imperial is she's a variety streamer. She streams about games. She streams about crafts, art. And today she's working on a cosplay that a jacket specifically to make her look like the ringmaster from The Greatest Showman. So let's get ready there. If you're a subscriber, grab that first line out of chat. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Grab the second line out of chat. Copy that onto your clipboard. Get ready. We're gonna raid Imperial. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Join me tomorrow night. And let's have some fun with our friends from Raygun. All right? I'll see you then.